Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about Jojo Part 5, Vento Aureo, chapters, I believe it's 40 to 46, Man in the Mirror and Purple Haze. And can I start off by saying that this set of chapters, about 7 chapters, really confused me because it just, a lot of stuff happened in it that I'm not sure I quite understand. As a whole, I understand what happened throughout the arc, this particular set of chapters. So okay, let's start off with Man in the Mirror is pretty much what I expected it to be. It takes you into the mirror realm. The semi-interesting thing is that it's only what he allows. He specifies what he allows in, either a stand, a person. You know, in one part when he gets infected with Purple Haze's virus, he says, only me, not the virus, you know. So it's reminiscent almost in a way to like Death 13, where when you go to the dream world, if your stand isn't already summoned, it won't come with you. I mean, it's different in the sense of, you know, he has to allow your stand in instead of it just being summoned, but in the sense of it being in an almost completely separate world with special conditions, that's what it reminds me of. You know, and it's very interesting when Abaccio comes in, you know, at one point he goes, all right, you're half stand, half human, and you know, on the outside there's a half Moody Blues, half Abaccio. The thing that confused me really was, like, Purple Haze, I understood, right? It unleashes a deadly virus that can kill you within 30 seconds. It has a short range, and the virus itself is weak to sunlight, but you know, the virus is in like the capsules on his fists or knuckles or whatever, and when the capsule breaks, that's when the virus comes out. Pretty standard, I understood that pretty quickly. The slightly confusing thing to me was sort of Abaccio's stand and Jojo's stands being Moody Blues and Golden Experience, where Moody Blues, I was not under the impression it could just change the way it looked on a whim. I thought because of, again, Soft Machine, it normally did something like, become Narantia from 5 minutes ago, and then it would look like Narantia and then do all the things that happened. I was not under the impression, I did not realize that Moody Blues could just, I'm just gonna make him look like me now, so now he just looks like Abaccio? That seemed really strange. I thought it was really strange, but at the same time, I thought, well, you know, there's a lot of stuff I don't know. But then, to save the key, because of course Man in the Mirror figured out where the key was because of Abaccio, to save the key, he cut his own hand off in the alternate world when he's half stand, half human in the real world. He cut his hand off, and Moody Blues' hand is just like floating and running with the key. I didn't realize stands could do that. I didn't realize Moody Blues could just do that. I mean, it might be slightly different. Maybe I'm misunderstanding something, because it did seem like Moody Blues activated, you know, because there was numbers appearing on his forehead, but I just didn't understand really what was happening. I don't know, I thought that was kind of strange, but not the strangest thing. And the really strange thing was when Jojo gets infected with Purple Haze's virus, and the snake apparently is immune. The snake brick is immune to it, right? So he uses, before he dies somehow, he manages to use Golden Experience to extract the white blood cells and then put it into his body, and just like immediately, he's fine. He's like immediately fine now. And I think the thing that really is weird, I'm like, how does Golden Experience just extract blood cells? That makes no sense. And you know, even though it's labeled Man in the Mirror and Purple Haze, this really isn't Purple Haze's fight. This really isn't Fugo's fight. Fugo's relevant for like 5 seconds, but then it just goes back to being a fight really between Abaccio and Illuso, I think the guy's name is, because really Jojo really just comes in and does stuff at the end, and Fugo comes in and does stuff in the beginning, but really it's an Abaccio fight, despite the fact being that Purple Haze does finish him off, and Purple Haze's name is in the chapter. Purple Haze ultimately doesn't do anything, and that might be because Purple Haze by himself is actually extremely deadly, almost like Okuyasu's stand, in a way that they're like, oh, we can't really have him do too much or else everybody's gonna die, you know? And I think the thing that really just got me about the set of chapters was like me figuring out stuff about Abbacchio Stan, Moody Blues, but then also Golden Experience just like taking the vaccine out of this brick snake and then putting it into Jotano's body and everything's fine. For some reason that's just really weird to me, and I almost have a hard time accepting it. Like, that just seems so out of whack. I've heard people say that they think Jotano with Golden Experience is like super OP and kind of he just does whatever he wants. It doesn't even have to make sense. And so far I feel like that's kind of true. Like that really doesn't even make any sense at all to me. But maybe I'm just being too hard on it. I mean, of course I'm not mad about it or anything. It's just really weird that that happened. I mean, I've heard a lot of people have issues with part 5 as a whole, but so far I don't. I do think part 5 has the most either weird inconsistencies with stands or just random abilities stands seem to have out of nowhere. But that might just be me. Maybe that's more explained later. I don't know. But ultimately, you know, I do think this was a pretty good set of chapters. I think it was a good idea to separate Fugo from his stand if you wanted to make it more of a challenge. Like, if it was just between him and Fugo, yes, Man in the Mirror would have been very difficult for Fugo to beat because his stand is so deadly, and he probably relies on it being so deadly to win so quickly. It embodies Fugo's violent side. But, you know, he can't, if he doesn't allow the stand to come in, then the stand can't beat him. That's just what it is. I do think they all worked well enough together, despite the fact that really they were acting extremely independently until maybe the very end. But I think it could have been more interesting than what it was. I wasn't necessarily disappointed. I really liked what was going on with Abbacchio and Aluso, but in terms of like Fugo and his stand and his part of the match, I felt like it was very much the weakest because he just got screwed over immediately. And really nothing happened with him. It was just at the very end, he was like, go Purple Haze, get him. And then he did. I thought it probably could have been done a little bit better, or at least showcased Fugo's stand a little bit better than it did. But there's really not much to it, admittedly, than deadly purple hazeness, got virus, deadly virus. So, I mean, what are you gonna do? We have several more stand battles coming up, so I'm sure everything will be fine. It's just, damn, man. They didn't do him justice, I felt like, Fugo or Purple Haze. But, you know, you can't win them all. I really like Narantia's fight with Aerosmith and Little Feat, but this fight, it was good. I still like it more than Kraftwerk and Sex Pistols, but I felt like it could have probably been done a little bit better, but, you know, what are you gonna do about it? Let me know what you thought of these set of chapters known as the Man in the Mirror and Purple Haze kind of arc in the comments below, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!